Welcome back to the PGL America's Minor. We are on to match 2 of the playoffs. I am James, and I'm joined now with a bit of a mix-up. I'm here with Anders and Chad. How are you guys doing?
Good. We are the new #1 duo in Counter-Strike.
You are, according to Reddit.
There's one thread.
Yep.
Sometimes that's all you need.
How many upvotes?
I don't know. It has 4 comments last time I checked.
Yeah, that's actually disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, I expected more.
Well,
I'll make one if you want. I can like concur. And
Yeah, just post.
is that legal if we ask you to, though?
Oh, damn. Actually, don't do that.
You could get in trouble for that.
oh, really?
Yeah,
you
you
get
get banned.
Oh, I don't want to be banned.
You'll be banned for Reddit.
Yeah, I don't want to be banned from Reddit. That sounds.
I actually don't know what the rules
What
are.
would I do?
I have no idea.
Maybe make another account.
Yeah.
Probably that would
solved.
probably be it.
Yeah.
Immortals versus CLG is our second matchup in the playoffs. First initial thoughts, really, based on what we've seen from these teams so far this weekend.
This is the closer matchup of the 2
Yes.
semi-finals, in my opinion. But we have similar factors going for both of these teams. CLG, for me, they were very structured, like what we saw coming out from Luminosity. And then we have Immortals, who were playing a disrespectful, aggressive, fast-style Counter-Strike, like we saw at Cloud9. So it's a very similar matchup from the first one. But the difference is CLG have more experience and are better at mitigating that kind of aggression.
Yeah, and I think the gap between the 2 teams is just smaller than it was between
for
Cloud9
sure.
and Luminosity. So I think it's going to be a really, really great game. I look forward to it. There's some explosive players on this one. I mean, I think both Ricky and Ethan have been really fun to watch. And I think Kusta is coming more and more into his own.
Yeah, I know that Hank's a bit of a Kusta doubter, but in the last couple of months, he's just gone back to that form that got him into Liquid, basically. When he was on Selfless, he was just absolutely destroying. That was some time ago now, but he's stepped back into his own in this structure. He's feeling quite good. FNS not too happy there, and so maybe he's laughing. Maybe he is happy. Maybe he's very happy. But yeah, I think between Kusta and Ricky both being able to do the AWPing duties, and with the fact that they can also rifle, this team can be very diverse, and they work in the system, the FNS, and apparently there's a lot of praise towards the coach. I think it's I Am Pet. Or I Am a Pet.
Yeah. I was going to say,
we
saw Miss Harvey there as well, right? Was it making that up, right?
She's no longer part of CLG Red.
No, but I think she's still a fan, right? She's still
probably.
She was there supporting them or
Yeah,
something.
so I think so.
Hanging out, having a chat.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe lightening the mood.
Hopefully, yeah.
Always a good time.
Do you think they'll need that? Do you think they'll need the mood lightening?
I do. I think it's going to be. I think this is going to be a tough game for CLG.
Oh, a tough game. I think if CLG were to win, it would be in the closest margins. I don't think it would be a blowout in their favor, whereas I think it could be a blowout in Immortals' favor.
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you want to do predictions? I know you're always a bit.
He wants to introduce Immortals so he can make a mummy being a mortal reference with our head sponsor.
Okay.
I wasn't going to do that, but that's a
but
fantastic segue into Immortals. Let's have a look at the lineup of Immortals for people who are just joining us.
Can I make a point? If the mummies are Immortals, is that not like ruin the whole idea of the movie?
Yeah, because you can't kill them. That's
yeah,
true.
I mean, so we know how it ends.
Yeah, I guess it would just a quick look at the base of this team. Steel and Bolts, they used to play with the legendary kind of Fallen squad back in the day. KNG is the latest addition, and then you have the twins in Lucas and Henny, or Hen1. Or Enrique is his actual name.
Okay.
So those lads there, they've recently introduced KNG, like I mentioned, and here's another AWPer. He's another explosive AWPer along the lines of Henny. So both teams have players who have a really strong AWPing duo, or at least a sporadic one that can cause a lot of damage early.
Yes. I mean, I'm excited about this game. I think it's going to be really interesting. I personally think that Luminosity is the team to watch for here.
Okay.
I think they're going to win this game. I mean, I'm saying that before the veto, so it was a bit dangerous. I was saying it probably just because Moses is on the other side. But we know he loves all American Counter-Strike, so sometimes it's just worth betting against him.
Sometimes you have to be patriotic. You're pretty patriotic.
Yeah, but it's only situational, you know.
Only because Australis are the best team.
Yeah, they're the
Only
best team in the
because-
world. It's easy then, isn't it?
With the maps right now, I think, it'd be really good if CLG had done a little bit of work and could have brought in like a Nuka and Inferno into their map pool for this matchup. But both teams haven't really touched either of those maps a lot. So I think that will be the bans coming out. I don't think it matters who bans which.
Do you get a sense? I got the sense, and it's been very annoying, that people, when Inferno came in, they just said, "Well, we know what to play Inferno." And they just sort of tried to transfer all of their stuff from a year ago into Inferno, and it just doesn't work.
A lot of things you can still do in a similar fashion.
I would similar, but I would say the details are really
definitely.
dangerous.
There's a lot of little nuances that you need to look for, and ways to potentially approach situations differently. Especially that banana. I've heard you talking to Henry about that, and the fact that it's almost a no-go zone in a lot of situations early on because of the harassment of the nades.
Yeah.
But for teams not to embrace it and try and reinvent the wheel is very boring, I think.
Yeah, I've been frustrated just at that little thing. So I think but that leaves the way for someone to do it. You know.
Yeah, I think this map more so than Nuke, the meta is evolving quicker and teams are actually innovating faster, and we're seeing a quicker transition towards it because it's more favorable than Nuke for a lot of people, right? So that's one of the positives with Inferno, and every time I watch that map, every time I watch a team play it, I see something new, and that excites me because I like to see people who are thinking, and that's one of the best things in Counter-Strike is the imagination of in-game leaders and other players.
Talking of the maps and Inferno in particular, let's find out which picks and bans we've gone for here in
Cashing the checks today.
Overpass, Train, and then Cobble if we need it. So, yeah, Immortals pass, for Overpass?
It's
Thoughts?
Normally a pretty strong map that they can, have a lot of impact early on their CT side with those AWPs. I did see them play against a team, I may have even actually been CLG. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was a match I was watching, and they had the double ults with KNG and Henny, and they were able to... No, it was versus SK. Never mind, ignore that. And they're able to be pretty effective with those AWPs at either bomb site. And this is one of those maps where you could even run 2 AWPs at that A bomb site quite effectively. I think, having one at long and one in that toilet area is pretty good. So for them, this map is not a bad pick, but it's one that, the structure that I always praise CLG for could come into play here if they take map control properly, if they negate the AWP from Henny and KNG and push them back and make them feel uncomfortable. There is a chance for them to be effective on that first map.
I mean, Overpass, you talked about sort of, the evolving meta. I can't for the love of me understand why it hasn't evolved further on Overpass. Like, it's maybe the most open map out of all in the map pool in terms of being able to throw grenades. Like, the skybox is almost infinite. There's lots of wall bangs that are possible, lots of weird boosts that are possible. It seems like people just sort of are satisfied more or less with the current current meta.
Yeah, I guess there's little bits and pieces. You need someone to come through and just break the way the game's played and show a new way that you can approach it. The way it's being played now, we're still seeing, like you're saying, teams are doing that one outside B backyard area, just watching that area, and then they have like 3 players going off towards playground, taking balloons, and you have one in connector. That's the go-to default for a lot of T teams. I don't think we're going to see a lot of change out of these guys. What I do like is the fact that the CT, the way that they've approached it has changed quite a bit. It was that they would always go for water control. Once you had water control, you'd stop the Ts from being able to execute.
That's true.
Teams have moved away from that now because we're seeing a lot more B executes, especially that Astralis one with those 2 Molotovs covering off ABC and Hell. That's quite a strong execute. I've seen lots of teams been doing that. Oh, just getting changed in the background there. Shirts getting thrown on.
Cheeky.
In terms of the innovation of these teams, I don't know, that then when you play as much as what these guys do, it becomes harder to innovate, because you need to play officials all the time, right? So you want to build on what you already have and make that as perfect as possible. The only time you innovate, right, is when you grab something from the ground up, a map that you don't play, and then you start afresh. Or you have a big break. And you can see FNS there. He had his notes in front of them. He's going to be reading, on those notes, it could be tendencies, it could be strategies they like to run, it could be the game plan that they have in place, strategies that he has to call. Because as an in-game leader, there's a lot going through your head. Having some notes in front of you can make things nice and clear.
And do you think we're going to end up going to that third map, if we have a brief talk about Train? We go.
Train's another one that Immortals, like once they get the ball rolling, can be very strong on, right? But for me, I think that if CLG come out looking strong like they did against Cloud9 yesterday, I thought CLG were going to win that match in the opening stages. I thought this is going to be CLG's game. They're looking really good, the way they're approaching it, and things crumbled. If they come out in this fashion and actually can take a pause when things get hot and heavy and continue to go down the same kind of path and not get too neutered by the aggression that Immortals are going to throw at them, I can see CLG making this a 3-mapper, maybe even taking it. I think if we are going to see a 2-mapper, it would be in the favor of Immortals. Yeah,
I think I'll just echo that. And that's pretty much my feeling too. I like the fact that all these maps are so open to the AWP play anyway, because we're really going to see a lot of it. And I mean, I wonder how much of it is going to be decided. Like, if Ricky's on point, like he really has been. And if Kusta could just play close to his level, then, I mean, against Henny and Kenji, I don't know. It could be really interesting.
Something that I think really favors CLG is if they're happy to play the force buy game early, right? If they lose pistol and then force buy them back in the second, and then it teeters back and forth like that. If the guys from Immortals are happy to play the force buy game and not get those AWPs online early, that's where I think the CLG can run away with it. You want to cripple the economy. You want to make it super difficult and costly for the guys from Immortals to get it up, because as much as I think that both teams have good AWP duos, I think that Immortals in their new stage with KNG will rely on it more so than that of CLG, because they have that structure. So that could be a plus or a win condition, I suppose, for the guys from CLG if they can get that going. That's something to look out for.
Okay, great, guys. Thank you very much. We'll come back after this map. It is Overpass Immortals versus CLG. We'll hand over to the duo. That is Henry G and Sadakist, the Goblin.
I've adopted the hat thing. If you're going to do it, I'm going to do it, Hank.
Might as well. Give it a go, see what happens.
I feel like we should be driving a truck down Interstate 95.
Could work out well for us. Could restrict blood flow to the brain, though. You never know.
Oh, the hats. Yeah. I thought you meant driving trucks. I was like, what are you trying to say about truck drivers?
Well, that's a close huddle.
An
Very
emotional
close.
huddle. I like the little back rub when we came in.
Keep the hand above the belt.
Yeah, don't go any lower.
That's fine.
Not you, Henry. You can go lower. But this game, Immortals, I think, are the favorites against CLG, even though they were very impressive yesterday.
Yeah, CLG are a decent team. They certainly have the potential to take down the likes of Immortals, like we've always referenced at this event. Their Starlighter event, they had a massive dent there, getting into the top 8. Looked very good indeed. But I think Immortals are the better team. They've got more firepower available and the flamboyant Brazilian play style as well. I think CLG are a great overall package, though. I've been really enjoying Cutler and Ethan as well. I think they've looked great, especially Ricky. You know, I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a fantastic AWPer along with Kuster as well. Double AWP potential.
That's actually your favorite player in the background, isn't it? The one with the hair that matches the different color jerseys? Miss Harvey? That's
Miss
your
Harvey,
favorite, right?
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. Doesn't play for CLG anymore.
That's true, actually.
She left. Gone now. I think she was told to leave. Are they in little booths as well? I can see like a glass door there.
I'm not sure, because I know one of the teams was in the upstairs area. Where I think they're upstairs. The wall kind of gives it away. They might actually be... Yeah, don't quite.
Have you been to this venue before?
Yeah, it's been a while, though. It's been like a year and a half.
Okay.
I can't remember what's behind them on the stage. I think that might be upstairs, and then the other guys are down below, but I'm not sure, because you can fit 4 teams upstairs. The problem is they have to be very close together. We got an admin call already, I think, and I think it's for the coach not checking his headset. That seems to be common, unfortunately.
I saw in the server chat, they said it was a microphone problem, so I think that was Henny, and he's getting his sorted out now.
Henny did have his hands in the air, but I thought maybe it was Zach, just because Zach went over. Maybe Zach was going over to check it.
Okay, so just to confirm, we have got...
They look like they're downstairs, because those windows look like they go outside. So they'd be over almost by the bathrooms, I think.
Okay. So CLG will be standing on the CT side, from what I can see. They do a knife round regardless, for some reason. I think this is part of the config. You just have to get the knife out of the way, but you still get to choose your side. It's best of 3. CLG...
it's probably true, actually. Yeah, it's config.
Yeah, CLG on Overpass. I haven't seen too much of that. I know Immortals can be very good on this map and have a very aggressive, strong CT side. I'm sure we'll be seeing lots of that. The likes of that, like I said before, that double AWP setup from CLG on this map can be quite deadly indeed. They get decent cash and they're not getting reset. Kuster looking very sharp on this map, especially towards middle. And then Ricky's a bit more dynamic and moves around and tries to get the picks. We'll see where that comes in. But Matt, in terms of prediction, do you think 2-0 for Immortals? Do you think this will be a close one?
I'm not sure. I mean, like I say, yesterday CLG actually kind of impressed me quite a bit. But in impressing me, I'm not 100% certain that that's enough to beat Immortals. Immortals looked very comfortable in their group on day 1. I think they gave up 9 rounds total.
We've only seen 2 maps of them, though, right?
I think 9 rounds. Something along those lines.
Yeah, it was 16-5 and like 16-3, I think. So I think you're right.
So 8.
Yeah.
That would be 8.
So, close to that. They did look very good, but we'll see whether they can step it up today because, like I said, I've only seen 2 maps from them so far. I haven't casted them much since they've had KNG join. Obviously, losing FNX was a bit of a dent to the team, I would say. FNX, fantastic player, one of the stars of Brazil, but KNG, I've heard, very good AWPer. I have seen him have some great rounds. It looks like we're almost ready to get into this one. They are going to be typing ready momentarily. There it is. It comes in. So we do have a knife round. It doesn't really mean much, so don't get too excited. It's just for fun. Maybe it's just to enjoy yourself before the game starts.
Yeah, it's a good way to warm up, right? Get some more knife stat track kills. Who was it yesterday that I saw that had 1,800? I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was FNS.
How do you get that?
I don't know. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? No, it wasn't FNS because it was on Crimson Web something other. I don't know my skins.
What possible model are you playing to get loads of knife?
Well, that's what we were saying. Jason and I were discussing it, and then we thought maybe FPL.
Why? What do you mean FPL?
Well, because they knife at the start of every game. So if you play a bunch of FPL games...
If you're playing like 10 games a day and you get 3 knife kills around, maybe.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
So something like that. But anyway, here we go. It looks like we are ready to start. Like we said, CLG will be starting on the CT side here. This is Immortals pick. So CLG will be on the back foot here, presumably. But we did see him play it yesterday. If they can pick this map out, that's a great start to this best of 3. And here we go then. Immortals versus CLG. I'll have a look at the buy for the Brazilian side. They've got 4 sets of armor. Bolts with the smoke, 2 flashbangs. Normally, We do see the T-side teams head towards B. I've said that about 5 times this event, but it seems to ring true every single time. You just want to get that one smoke down, almost guaranteed to plant with the trade, sort that side of the map, and then the retake begins. In terms of the CLG buy, Cutler with the diffuse kit, smoke grenade, 4 sets of armor around him. It's pretty standard stuff for now. It looks like we are underway. 5 seconds until we'll see whether the CLG team decide to go aggressive and try and get towards connector. That's a great place to be on the pistol round, means you can rotate to B very quickly for reasons I just mentioned. FNS makes his way towards bathrooms. Having 2 players with him as well, he's going to have Ricky and Kusta accompanying him.
This is actually good because their aggression is paired with slow play from Immortals, so they could be in a good position by the time they start to go around the corner, but they're going to back off, not spotting anyone. They don't have any information. Fair enough. All right, so you give them lower, but it's Kusta that's going to face down there. Kenneth. I called him Kevin. He got mad at me. I just think that it's fun to blame Kevin. Ricky gets Lucas down. Steele follows back, though. And the wraparound from Henny leaves Kusta with nowhere to go.
Well, they got the man advantage for now. Still there's smoke as well. Flushed out the connector. Like we said, CLG were wise to be there at the start, but got pincered from middle and the connector position itself. So Bolts with the smoke and 2 flashbangs still waiting for the CT reactions. They have got decent mid control. 1 player towards long as well. That's going to be the interesting duel. FNS, he finds his kill. The team are right back in this round. Does a bit of damage. Can't find the headshot just yet, and he might have a chance here. Looks a little bit close. It's actually Henny's on the other side of that position. And here we go, the final commitment from Immortals.
Good shots from Cutler. FNS, Bolts, Cutler, KNG. Good response from CLG. Having lost the opening exchange on a negative trade toward the top of the stairwell. Henny's going to wrap back around, Glock in hand. You got to love a Glock, Hank.
You've got to love it. Well, making his way towards the bomb site now. 30 seconds, very unlikely he wins this now. His position is to be given away. They'll wait till he actually touches the bomb. Obviously not been planted yet, so waiting at the steps position. Very nice stuff from CLG. Just running that timer down, eradicating any sort of chance he can actually find initial target here on the site. Need to be firing some shots in now, and now they can just face together, take him down, no kills obtained. Cutler with 3 in the round. He's actually been very good with the silenced USP in this event. I've actually watched a few highlight clips from him with that weapon, looking very strong indeed. Like you said, Immortals getting the first pick there, having the man advantage, and then a slow pay towards the A-bomb site. Separated, they had 3 players in middle and 1 towards long as well, and it's getting shut down by the crossfire. Didn't seem that effective when they went towards the A side. So here we go, round number 2. This should be the 4th spy from Immortals here. Tech 9's armor, 1 flashbang. That's a bit of an issue. You can just straight up rush B if you want to in this map, but it looks like they'll be heading towards middle. Maybe trying to challenge any sort of aggression the CT's going to be bringing in. I don't think they'll do that this round. They've actually got 4 players towards B at the very start, trying to sniff out that potential B rush. That won't be happening. So with 1 flashbang and mid control coming in very slowly, what's the play here? You can't really smoke out the A site. You just need to have this sort of wolf pack mentality and see if you can get the first pick. And as soon as you get any sort of opening like that, all 5 go to the side and try and get as close as you can to allow these Tech 9s to do some serious damage.
Well, Tech 9s can do serious damage, that's true, but so too can an M4. But it's alone, and that's a bit of a risk, to be fair, when they're that close to the front of the A site and start rotating back off B with no contact. They were expecting the fast play, bit of a gamble from CLG. Cutler that's, I think, aware of the fact that, hang on, guys, you didn't see anything over at B? Nothing at all? Okay, I'll back off because they got to be close by, and they are very close, too close for comfort. Cutler goes down. Tech 9 gets the kill. Bomb has been planted, and he now has the M4 to cover off the stairs. He's going to do exactly that with good effect. Bolts tries to do more than 1, but backs off again to stay alive with the weapon. He wants to keep the M4 in contention for the post-plant position. He now has to play the long angle, so he'll rotate around toward, well, long itself. It's planted safe side, so it won't be open to bathrooms quite so easily. I say that, actually, I take it back. It looked like it was inside on the X-ray. It's just in front, but it doesn't matter. They triangulated off very well, and Bolts does, in fact, stay alive to get the final kill. 4 for him by getting aggressive.
Yeah, impressive stuff there from Immortals. Like I said, didn't really have any grenades to work with there. 1 flashbang, got some bathrooms control, overwhelmed, a 1 CT waiting for them there, and it's Bolts to open things up. Like you said, as soon as he gets that M4, great position, keeps finding multiple frags, mowing them down 1 by 1, and that's a little bit disappointing from Kusta there, but what can he do? Bolt's in a great position. Good timing, good crossfires, finish things off as well. Ethan couldn't really do much about that situation. I'm sure we'll see a force spam response. We do indeed. Scout CZ's 5-7s and a deagle for Cutler. No royal utility. FNS, he is the player with the scouts. Kusta, the AWPer, of course, just a PT-50 him. Nothing really invested. Finesse watches towards long. The in-game leader had his criticism over the years, but I think he's starting to turn his game around. I think he's actually quite well respected these days in the NA scene.
Yeah, we were talking about that to start off the tournament, just sort of the discussion of what teams we expected to do well. And the thought was that FNS maybe didn't get his fair due in the first tenure with CLG, but now that he's back and he's kind of got the helm, he's brought Cutler back out of his shell, and he's doing very well.
Yeah.
He's found some fragging as well, which was the issue before.
Well, for now, what's Immortals' game plan here? They have got a couple of AKs, an M4, Famus and a UMP. Looks like they head back towards B, and there's not a single CT player on the B side. That's a bit of an issue. Take a gamble on these sort of rounds of the CT. It might sound ridiculous, but this could be a round where all 10 players survive. There's walking and plant here. CTs probably don't even want to risk losing anything here, so that could very well be the case. I think in our casting career map, we've only had 2 of these rounds. This could be one of them.
It doesn't happen very commonly, does it? You'd think that it's almost kind of like jumping into the Molotov. You'd think that it'd be almost something the CTs would do more to keep away from the SMGs. Because obviously the CTs still get money, so...
What do you mean?
Well, just you said 5 alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how the Ts, to avoid the situation where they're giving away frag money, kind of jump into the flames. We saw that from T2.
Yeah.
From CTs, when they're kind of in this situation where they've got armor and they've got some investment, it's surprising that teams don't try and elect to save a lot more commonly, especially where teams are, terrorist teams are going to the SMGs more frequently because you're giving them frag money. Yeah, it's exactly because the CTs still get money for it, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah,
no, I see what you mean now. Yeah, that does make sense. So yeah, for anyone who's not familiar with Counter-Strike, it means if you're on the CT side and you stay alive after the timer, you still get the loss bonus coming in. Terrorist side, because you're on the offense, if you don't go for the plant, you don't do anything, you don't get any money if you survive after the timer runs out. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. And obviously Immortals for a hunt there, but it was definitely viable for CLG to keep all 5 alive. They had no chance of winning the round. They had no kits or real utility, but they had upgraded pistols and armor, defuse kits, right? So might as well have just gone for, might as well have just saved what they had, and that could have definitely been an idea. But 3 players go down. Ricky and Cutler save their upgraded pistol here, Deagle and CZ, but this is one of those rounds where it's a pretty much full eco. I don't expect much to come of this. Maybe 1 or 2 kills, that'd be about it. But Immortals now, this is their map pick. Looking quite strong at the moment. We've got Bolts holding the B side of the map. Another default here, pretty classic stuff. We had a few frustrations casting yesterday, watching some of the teams on that anti-eco, especially in that second round, just choosing a strategy at the very start of like rushing B or going for a full execution, running into stacks. Even when you know they've got absolutely nothing, right? You want to just be holding up, default the start, wait for the aggression, see if you can get any sort of tells or reads as to what's going on. Then you go in as a team, then you trade, use your utility. Like, it's not worth it in CSGO just saying, oh, we can save some money if we don't throw this smoke. Just always do it, eradicate the risks, and winning the round of no kills going down to be a very satisfying feeling compared to it being a 1v1 you've run into a full stack.
Cutler's going to push out with the Deagle in hand. Great opportunity behind him to find Steel, but he has no idea. And left alone to his own devices, a UMP in front of him that's just out of reach. Steps 1 step forward, and the bomb's just wrapping around. Should spot him. Slowing it down, though. He gets Henny. And the bomb. He could be onto something, but too many and no headshots. Got Henny down to 3 HP. Goes 3-1, so Immortals getting away with that one and also setting things back to normal.
Indeed. Kusta brings out the AWP. Bit of a note as well. There's only 1 player with head armor on the CT side, so that might not sound like a big issue, but we have got an M4 and a Famus available for Immortals, so that means they become a lot more powerful in this particular round. Only FNS with the head armor there. All for Henny as well. It was kind of a little bit confusing when KNG joined the team, known to be a very aggressive, flamboyant AWPer like Henny as well. And we thought, okay, is he going to be the main AWPer? Is he taking over Henny's role? But it doesn't seem to be the case. Henny still is primarily the main AWPer, and we'll see whether he can open things up here. Kusta for now, though, he's actually in the bathrooms looking towards the party position. There he is. Smoked out. Needs just to adjust slightly. Still in contention of this one. This could be dangerous and a bit sloppy there from Ethan. That's a very open position, and he did have a teammate watching him from short, but he was still very much exposed. I don't like that setup whatsoever. Surely you have to be crouched.
Kusta's missed the shot, which is a big problem because that was their chance to equalize. So they'll take over long. They'll try and push down fast enough that Kusta's not going to have position. Yeah, he's got to stay front bathrooms. So Cutler has to hold this corner, has to hold the angle. They go quickly. They get around behind the truck. He still manages the shot against Steel. The nade will take him down, and Henny's found Kusta. Sight is wide open, at least, well, I shouldn't say wide open, but it's open enough that they can get in. The rotations are arriving quite swiftly, but unfortunately, FNS is caught in no man's land.
Good luck, Ricky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, take the luck. I'm in for it. Let's go. Let's see what you can do with it, because he's got one already. And he starts to work back in, but Lucas is looking very accurate this morning.
Yeah.
Or whatever time they're in.
I don't know these days.
Yeah, I don't know what time it is. The world is just 24-hour time now. We're just going to put everyone back in the same time zone.
Yeah, I think it's like mid-afternoon, because we're at 11 p.m., so that would make sense, right? They're probably like, what, 6 p.m. or something? I don't know. But this is the opening shot. This is a real strange setup there. Ethan, I've been doing that all weekend. Ethan's so exposed, and he wasn't actually looking towards his connector itself. So taken down, that was the opening pick. Double orb set up now for Immortals here in round number 6. Has to be another recap of CLG. This is a CT-sided map. They need to start recovering the situation as soon as they possibly can. CZ's Deagles. Cutler's got some body armor. I don't think that's going to help him out too much, but he's in the connector, baiting in Kusta. But KNG, like we said, known to be an AWPer. He'll be more than happy to pick up an AWP finds on the ground. First pick coming in. This is how you play the Anticos. Very disciplined stuff so far. Working areas together, trading frags, and keeping all 5 players alive. Looking very promising for Immortals as we enter the 1 minute 20 mark. Got Steel now getting some more information. KNG detects there are players towards this connector position. Can't hit a shot just yet. I think that's the right decision. Just fall back. It's not really worth it. Even if you get the frag, it's still high risk considering you're 8 HP.
Oh, Ethan. Lucas was standing there. He certainly took his time to line that up, but Lucas' attention divided. Well, they're not even divided. It was just tunnel toward the stairwell leading to the tunnels because he certainly had no attention to bathrooms. Bolts takes down Cutler. Leaves the bomb in a free position, but he's still going to fight off against Kusta, who wants to push back into it. Immortals looking to go up 5-1 to start it off.
This will be maximum loss bonus now for CLG. I would suggest they bring out the double orb setup. We've seen them run that this week. And obviously it'll be Ricky and Kusta on that setup, and that's when the game really begins for me, because it'll be double orb setup on the CT side and the T side, and I'm almost certain that will come in. Let's have a look. Ricky is a very good orb on this map. There's the first one for him. Presumably Kusta buys it as well. Kusta, just to know as well, 0 for 6. So still early days, running around number 7, so I'm sure we'll be fine. Tactical timeout now, just to work out the setup going forward. Here's the 1D from Ethan. Nice shot to take down Lucas as well. 5-1 though for Immortals. Looking very confident here in terms of their money. They've got about $7,500 per player. Looking very healthy right now. Full buys, of course, across the board. All for NE, all for KNG. That means when you've got the orb, so you're kind of limited, Matt, with your set piece potential, right? You're relying very heavily on the defaults here, trying to get those first pick, taking jewels, which is absolutely fine because you know you're going against double orbs now with this pause coming in. It's very likely, you know, the money's got to a stable place, and that's the default stance for CLG as well. So I'd say they'd be more than happy to go to a straight default. And it's fine. Like if you can get the picks and the stick as a team, it should be very viable for them as we get into this one. The unpause comes in. You can still see the CD team not fully recovered. I guess they are just trying to save money wherever they can. Not getting hit on one of 3 players. They know there's no SMGs available for the terrorist side, so that's a saving $350. Means you can get extra flashbang, extra smoke, something like that. 4 players towards B once again suggests that the CTs might go for the first pick here. Ricky watching towards short B, and then Kusta once again towards that party position, trying to find the first pick. Or like this.
Yep, very good positioning. Good spot toward barrels. Fast enough to catch them, but Ricky gets the information, finds the headshot. Lucas goes down. That's quite good. Typically, the boost wins that exchange.
Yeah, he just couldn't find the aim there. There was a couple of heads in front of him. Couldn't quite get it, and Ricky punishes him for it. 5-4 now. What's the reply? Double orbs in this scenario isn't fantastic. Going for the boost again. It's kind of nuts. Well, didn't learn the lesson the first time, apparently.
Good shot on bolts. Bomb was re-grabbed. KNG is still watching. It's double op setup again for Immortals. They ran a T-side double op yesterday quite frequently. This time it needs to find kills. Missed shots, given an opportunity. In fact, given 2, but he lags 1 and misses the other, so it stays in control of CLG. This should be the first round in quite some time. It'll reset a loss bonus, so at this point with 5 players alive,
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it ends that way. We're not done yet.
Best possible scenario, obviously. You lose that loss bonus, keep 5 players alive. Got this double orbs running. Nothing has to be invested into next round, really, apart from a few grenades. Penny, though, this is where the problems begin. If he can find a couple of frags, which he very well may do, could have a bit of a problem here. But Kusta, he replies it's his first kill of the game. And he now knows he can't win the round, but he wants to try and find as many kills as he possibly can here. I thought that was another one. That should be him done now. Kusta finishes the round off. So the double orb setup working fantastically there for CLG. Ricky finding both boost kills and manages to find a CLG their first gun round after winning the pistol. Lost 5 in a row, and here's a replay. Sees a little head, rips it off. He gets a second chance as well. That was kind of surprising. They went for the boost once again. You can see them jumping up. It's like, not quite high enough. They need to jump.
Yeah. It actually, in slow-mo, looks incredibly easy.
Yeah.
I can't believe they went for that twice, to be fair.
Just a single AWP setup now for Immortals. That's pretty standard for the T side. I think KNG made a bit of a mistake over double AWPs in the previous round. They won't be doing that again. Color now aggressive towards middle. Pushes to the fountain area. Another boost from Immortals in playground. Looking towards long A, of course. Cutler there. This is a very strong position, but it is pre-fired. You're hoping your teammate can hopefully boost, or take the aggro away and give you a chance to find this first shot. Sees the barrel.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Sees the barrel and then turns around and realizes, wait a minute, there's more here. That's pretty good from Cutler to stay alive and all of that. Kusta giving a little bit of aid. KNG, I'm afraid for Immortals because they're in such a great position. They're about to get withered down. Now, they've got money left. KNG's got 6150. Steel's got 6550. The others are a mixed bag. Henny's the only one that's struggling. He's the, well, is he the primary operator right now? Typically speaking.
Henny is, yeah.
But KNG's been picking it up so frequently.
Yeah, like I think that's just him being a bit stubborn, right? And he's just like
that or stubborn, or they're letting him try and kind of acclimate himself into the team and letting him do what's comfortable because they're so quick on his quick to start using him. But
that's why there's a question mark about him joining this team. It didn't really seem to make sense. But
I mean, I guess their thought is skill, and they need to be able to play all positions. And
after what I've seen this week, if they got a cello, that would have been perfect for them.
That cello's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I think you'd go him with like a full-time rifler, someone like that.
I mean, I'm willing to let this KNG thing play itself out.
Yeah.
Maybe there is something in it. Maybe they can find Akusta good hold behind the flames. Maybe there is something in it, and you know, Fallen would be someone that would absolutely say that everyone needs to know how to play every position. He switched from the rifle back to the op, and Cold will switch back and forth from time to time. So give it some time. But yeah, Cello's wicked. I like Cello. Yeah, I want to see him go somewhere.
Well, that's Cutler aggressive at the start of the round. Baited in by Kusta, manages to, like you said, spots the barrel, but still has the awareness to turn around along, finds a first kill, gets a second as well. He's been great this tournament. It's good to see him returning to form after being quite absent for a while, I'd say, but that's Kusta finishing things off. Quite a game for him so far, but starting to get into it now. Cutler towards middle, and we've got Kusta picking the short tunnel here. Not going to find anyone just yet. This is a much slower round coming in from Immortals, and Kusta wanted to go for that connector pick, taken down by Lucas. 5 and 4. A reply potentially coming in here. Decent damage dealt towards the T side here, but unfortunately Cutler once again taking down KNG. A little counter boost there.
Good shot. Counter boost works. They've been getting the better over the wall this time, the CTs. Normally it's the Ts that win those exchanges, especially when they want to jump up, but boost this time instead works out. Ricky's going to push up. Is it Ricky or Ricky?
Ricky.
Because as a Canadian, I'd say Ricky. Hey?
Ricky.
What's going on, eh?
I think Ricky's
Ricky?
fine.
Nah, it's okay. We'll go with Ricky. I wonder what Chad says. I know he likes AZR. Bolts.
It's not bad.
Gets down Ethan. Good read. That ramp spot. It's definitely... Oh. Okay. Molotov, your teammate. It's definitely a good spot, but it is very common that it's played. You got to use timing to your advantage. Cutler trying to swing back through and get in position, but I think exits might be a better option right now for CLG. They've got money left over. They'll be in a fine position. Yeah. And any kill they get is going to hurt Immortals at this point.
Yeah, they'll get $1,400 on top of their current 4K stash, so they'll be absolutely fine saving 2 weapons as well. That's not too bad. It was Bolts that pretty much wins the round single-handedly there. Walks into the B site, finds those 2 kills on the ramp, and he survives with 10 HP. Bomb will be going off at this point. You can see Cutler in the connector with Ricky as well. He's looking for any players exiting off the short position, but that will not be happening. Ooh, one player goes down with the bomb. And now Cutler on the hunt, seeing that anyone did exit from short. Doesn't happen though, so they can definitely fall by into this one. Here's a replay of Bolt's nice work there. Good pre-fire towards our ramp position to take down Ethan. Round number 10, Immortals now 6, CLG 3. Back to the double AWP setup though, of course. For both teams, I wasn't a fan of this on the T side. We'll see if they can make it work. I think this limits you in terms of your full execution potential. That's so powerful in this map. If you're struggling and having a difficult round, or you've got that first pick, let's go back to B. Full execution, very difficult and overwhelming for the CTs to hold off. Bit of a boost.
Yeah, Bolts this time checks it. But I like that they're boosting and not jumping in some ways. Again, it does mean you commit a third player, but you talked about it yesterday. You can actually get a shot off instead of just being a flying hitbox.
Well, they both take pretty much equal damage. Ethan down to 4 HP, Bolts at 15, so No one feeling too comfortable after that exchange, but still managed to survive on either side, and bolts made them fall off the stack. In terms of CT positions right now, Kusta AWPing long this time from the flower bed. We do have Cutler in the bathrooms once again. It seems to be finding picks consistently here, and nothing really to report on the T side. They have got full control of connector, and let's have the Cutler now to try and sniff them out. Can he get anything done here? What about checking towards connector position, but does fall back to a more passive spot here. Bolts walk in. This could be almost guaranteed kill for Cutler. It looks like that might be happening. Oof, not quite. He actually commits towards mid. There's no one on the A site here, Matt. So obviously, Immortals have no idea that's the case, but they could just walk into the site right now. But it looks like the bomb will be heading towards B. This is a little fake going on here. Steal and bolts. Maybe just Steel will be committing to this side of the map. Trying to force a rotation, which has worked. Ethan's left the B site. Bomb walks into B here. KNG gets his first pick. I think that's round over, which he does.
Good shot. But FNS trying to do what he can and equalize. Cutler gets Steel. That's off-site, but it gives him access to rotate around. Bomb's going to be planted inside quite comfortably. Bolt's only on 15, but Ethan's not doing, well, he's certainly not doing better. He's doing worse. Henry by 9.
Yeah, this is a difficult retake. I think he might just save this one, but probably give it a go. See if we can get one pick just to make it a possibility. Making some noise down towards connector. That's Ethan. Molotovs come in, and Bolt's looking to open the fragging here.
Nice position from Bolts. On 15, he kind of has to play an angle like this, doesn't he? But, oh, what?
If you're going to check it, at least give it a second look.
Yeah, like don't just look at your radar while you're doing it. Look at the screen a little bit. Kusta gets any, but unfortunately round's done at that point.
There's definitely potential. He checks it, but didn't fully commit. If he takes down Bolts there, maybe there's a real chance. The bomb was pretty far gone, but still Immortals there. Lovely work, getting the initial map control. Like we said, CT's committed towards long there. They have no information on what's going on towards middle. They hear the smokes land on the A site. That forces the rotation from Ethan. And then at that point, Immortals throws Steel into the A site. He doesn't get any kills, but he delays the CT's rotating, right? His teammates on the other side of the map, walking through Monster. It was KNG to find the first pick of the AWP. Bomb went down, and Bolts with low HP managed to stop that player coming from connector. So nice round from Immortals there. Let's have a look at the money for CLG. 7-3. Not looking too good on the CT side here, but they do have enough just about for a buy. It'll be a case of distributing the wealth out, dropping some weapons. Maybe a UMP comes at this point. There it is. So Ethan's on that. What's FNS got? I'm sure he must have a equal weapon on the floor. Maybe just about an M4 or another UMP. I'm not sure yet. Well, there it is. Another M4. This will be the last round of a full buy, though, for CLG. So what's the play? Haven't seen too much in terms of brute force aggression at the start of the CT rounds. They are kind of flirting with the idea of going for that first pick, but not really fully committed to it. We saw Cutler go past the fountain. Does a very impressive round for them. They have one up. No Ricky up here. It's going to be Kusa this time. And he's heading towards B from what I can see. So he might go towards Monster or be boosted up. I'll find out. Oh, it's a full B rush, I think.
That's a Molotov. That's going to hurt. They've stopped inside of it to fight as well. Kind of had to get shots off. Unfortunate for them, but better for Ethan. He's gotten 2, and he's going to look for a little bit more. Bolts has evaded him. But I really don't think there's... Oh, okay. I was going to say much further for him to go, inside of the site. But then he went back and, yeah. Little dance. Polka.
Polka?
Polka. What's another dance?
Tango?
Salsa. Tango. Yeah, it takes 2 to tango.
It does. That's what they were kind of doing that.
Yeah,
face to face.
Yeah, spinning around. Ooh, good shot, Ricky. Catches up both low enough HP that it's one shot in the M4. Lag? No, not quite. And he's got to back away. AWP to hold off the bomb. They've done well to get it this far. CLG's got a chance at round number 4. Bomb plant will add some additional money to the T's, so they'll be fine in the next round. Oh, that head is tantalizing. Unfortunately, missed shot gives Cutler the entry he wants to get the kill. And better for CLG to win the round because both teams will have money, and now we've got a brawl to see who gets broken.
Nice change of pace there from Immortals, going with that straight up B rush. Still a very viable strategy across the board. And that's a little bit ridiculous to say that, but just rushing B when the CTs are just adjusting to your slow paced double AWP setup. You just trap that into the mix, and they got the initial exchanges there, but Ethan doing a great job with the UMP. Like we said, doing the tango in the smoke and finds 2 kills, the damage to the third as well. Took Bolts down to 10 HP, and unfortunately for Immortals, round slips away. So the money, even after winning so many rounds, is quite low for Immortals here. A couple of AKs, 2 Tech 9s, and an AWP. Holding up in the default once again, but Cutler and FNS once more. Wants to challenge towards connector. The boost working out once again as Henny just walks into the crosser there of Ricky. 5 with 4. That's the hard work done, but we still have presence towards that connector from FNS. Smoke deployed. That should be a chance for him to maybe push into the corner. I'm not sure just yet.
Color takes down Steel. He's got Kusta just beside him inside where Molotov's going to get him. He's elected to try and fight from within, and unfortunately for them, the Tech-9s actually get a better situation. K&G and bolts all the nades. It's for K and Ethan.
It is. I just
thought I'd say that really abruptly for you.
Bit of a brawl towards that connector position, and they got that first pick as well. Once you've kind of ascertained you've got the man advantage, you know they've kind of low economy as well. I'd be falling back. I guess you are pretty committed towards that connector position. They lose to the Tech-9s. Now it's up to Ricky once again, who's played amazingly this tournament. Can he do anything about this situation? Coming in with the AWP. He's got a flashbang to work with, but oh my god, he's so quick, this guy. He takes it down. It's going to be a 2 versus 1 in their favor now.
They call him the Australian Thunder.
Thunder from down under?
Yeah. He needs to use the lightning off to go along with that.
That'd be good.
That would be good. Chad, get on it. Tell him to do it. Diffuse for CLG makes round number 5. I expected more of a buy from the T's than that because they could have gone toward SMGs. They went with the Tech-9s.
Yeah.
But they did well to get the bomb down. I thought maybe more was in it.
Yeah, you can see them overwhelming with the Tech-9s and HE grenades there towards connector. Had the advantage for sure, but Ricky, great job. And manages to find an entry kill that leads to the round of victory. CLG getting back into this now. 2 rounds in a row for them. Has to be a little partial buy here from Immortals. Just Tech-9s, flashbangs, a couple of sets of armor, that's about it. Not too much to work with, but Immortals are known to be very good at the pistols. We'll see whether they can do anything. With round number 13. Booster once again boosting up towards middle. Could have a chance to get a kill. Ooh, very close indeed, but doesn't quite get it.
Not quite. Watch the op. Kusta going back out for more. This time it is fully Tech-9s. Very passive considering they're against the Tech-9. It's going to let them actually run up to a site quite close. And they've been playing 3 and B a lot, CLG.
And sometimes 4.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But for now, Kusta ready to find his first pick with the AWP. Struggling slightly, recovers, takes down bolts here. Flashbangs come in. Kusta should get a couple of frags. Misses the first one. And here we go. This is where the fun begins for him, but he is struggling somewhat. He could be overwhelmed here. Indeed, he is. Up the Cutler now, who is playing very well on the A site. Now going to be a 3-on-2. Bomb might get planted here, but the CT's rotating just in time. Ricky once again to the CT spawn steps. Spoke towards bank, and that's going to be troublesome for the CTs now. This could get a bit dicey considering they've got the AWP and the M4. The bomb gets planted. He might have a really interesting round on hands.
I'm curious to see how it goes with that armor. Excuse me, Lucas. It may not matter. He's got an op if he's fast enough. Great. Henny, it's a bit more of an issue. More so because it's an M4 as well, which means you can't get one shot in. Doesn't get any, to be fair. By finesse. Oh,
not bad.
Yeah. Just takes them both out.
Very well played from Finesse, pushing in from long. They had no idea there was a possibility, like you said, no armor, so quite easy kills in the sense they could be very easy to take down. But nice aim on the second shot as well. That was actually very good. I'll have a look at that in a second. Here it comes. Nice little flick shot. Boom. 1 bullet's all it required. So 7-6, CLG in a shout, winning the half now, looking much better in the last few, winning all 3 rounds. The bomb has been planted 3 times, so money's going to be decent for Immortals. Back to that single orb setup. As I said before, I'm not a big fan of the double orb set on the T side, but they have made it work in a few rounds. CLG looking very sharp right now. It's going to be Ricky this time towards middle, playing a spawn-based sort of strategy. Kusta on the other side of the map. Once again, going for that connector control. That's Immortals. This is where things get interesting. Ricky watching towards the party position. Caught out. Flashbang's decent, but he does fall back.
Chad Lucas takes down Ricky after he got K&G, so had to get the trade managers to do so.
He hit Lucas at the same time, I think.
Yep. I think you're right. 13 HP. That seems to make sense. Let me do the maths on that one. Did that for you, Henry. What are you, Slytherin? I'm a Hufflepuff.
I knew that.
Because I'm going to huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down like the big bad wolf.
I don't even know. If I didn't feel this rough today, I've got a massive headache.
Why is your mic near your nose?
I don't know. I'm losing the plot today. Massive headache, earache. It's all going wrong. But I'm trying to keep up, trying to keep high spirits.
Aren't you the wolf? I went full circle.
Yeah, I know.
Pick up on it.
Normally I would have grabbed that and ran with it, but I'm just going to keep to the basics today.
That's fine. Ethan's going to keep to the basics of falling off the ledge that he wanted to use so desperately. It still works out for him. Timing is everything. He takes down Lucas as he enters in from the sandbags. AWP for Kusta. Good shot. Takes down Steel. Henny's there with his into return, but it's Cutler that's going to tie this game. So Immortals looked sharp early, get a great momentous start, I will say, but then CLG's taking it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Losing the pistol as well. It was 1-0 for CLG, then 5 rounds in a row for Immortals. Looking like they're running away with Overpass. But since the full buys have come out, Ricky's got that AWP as well. He's looked fantastic. Cutler as well, I have to say. What an amazing game from him. Not known to be a huge fragger. But throughout this tournament, he's been posting big numbers and finding opening kills and coming to life in the crossfire and in equal situations as well and finding rounds for his team. Number 15 now. It has to be a difficult buy for Immortals. They're 4th stage lost men into a bomb going down as well, so they get AKs, Tech 9s, but Kusta can't find this opening shot. He's tried about 4 different times now. It's very close, but can't seem to connect it. Ricky back on B, and we go towards long this time. I haven't seen much activity towards this side of the map from KNG. He does have full control of it for now, and a change of setup for CLG. No presence there whatsoever, but they do have Kusta on the A site. He'll probably adjust and fall back and get to that APC position. There it is. Smoke towards the end of long A, presumably. It's very standard these days. There it is. Now up to Kusta to work out how he fends them off.
Good shot back. Cutler trying to get through the smoke man. He's just one already on entry, so it's going to slow down Immortals. 57 seconds. They're already committed onto the A site. Bolt is going to go immediately for the plant. Ethan's not quite visible to Steel. Thought he might try and go for the jump over the top, but he couldn't risk it. And even though he didn't, he still goes down. It's gone very well for Immortals despite losing the first pick. The smoke wall certainly helps them, but Ricky, as always, will try and fight back. With his AWP to get bolts gives FNS a better chance to walk in from bank. Problem is that Henny's still there close by. Pops it out, times it well. It's all to Ricky. Knows Henny's up close near the boxes, so he doesn't want to go for the chance op shot. It's the twins he's got to go against. Lucas brings himself back closer to the angle. He knows by which he's approaching. And Immortals do end up winning the half, but they had a 5-1 start, remember, so only 8-7.
Yeah, that's a bit of a hollow victory, I would say. And they seem to have been a bit overwhelmed towards the end. CLG looked like a much better team, finding the clutches, the initial picks as well. Immortals just shut down by the boosts. It seemed every single time, even their own boosts, they were getting run over. But still, 8-7, split half, and it's going to be Immortals now onto, I guess, the more favoured side, still a CT-sided map. So they've got a decent lead here, and this is their map pick. You're expecting to pick it up. But CLG certainly delivering a fight here. I'll look at the buy. A Deagle comes out. Ricky's been doing that a lot this tournament, Matt. It's not a weapon you commonly see on Overpass in the pistol. It's normally saved for the likes of maybe Mirage and Cash, but not so much on Overpass. We'll see what he can do with it. Not too much for now. He's gone down to 3 HP.
He's been going with that a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
I think that's the 3rd time that I've seen it. Probably more overall. The Twins start off well. Henny and Lucas with the first kills. FNS only managing 1 to his name. And then Steel makes it just Cutler that remains. It's all pretty straightforward for Immortals. CT side starting off again with the momentum. This time they win the pistol. Last time they won the pistol, or excuse me, CLG won the pistol, but they won the ensuing eco round or force buy round to take control of the situation.
9-7. And yeah, the Deagle, it's one of those weapons, if you buy the pistol, you're very reliant on it to open up the map. You're going to be slowing things down. Okay, let's see if we can make this Deagle work. And Ricky goes towards long, gets that monster tunnel pick, but taking down to 3 HP pretty much made him useless at that point. They had to fully commit and to say, okay, let's just get them on the reloading, see if we can catch him out, but all the frags going in favor of Immortals. It's a big pistol for them to pick up. After losing the first half pistol, they've managed to find a second. Can they convert to the 3-0 though? That's yet to be seen. It's looking promising though. Cutler, who forced forward the scout, he's down to 14 HP. They have got Tech 9s and PG50s here. Head armor as well. 1 smoke to work with. That's in the hands of FNS. Not really too much to do with the CTs. It's a pretty standard setup right now. 2 towards A, 3 at B. Watching short Monster. Just delaying as much as they can with the smoke grenades. And Lucas wants to fight here by the looks of things. KNG watching towards short and backing him up. Patrolling Monster. There it is, Lucas. So what's the play here from CLG? Haven't really got much map control. They have cleared out connectors, so that's something.
Bolt's trying to push to the bathrooms, SMG in hand. Ethan's gone. Oh, he hasn't gone. He's sat right in front of him. I was going to say gone around in front of the door. They'll miss each other, but he catches off Ethan. Ricky's there as well. I don't know if he'll anticipate it, and Ricky tries to beat him to the punch. Doesn't do it. Nobody beats me to the punch at the party.
It's true.
I get there first with a bottle of vodka.
It's
Henny
true.
gets
I've seen it
Kusta.
many times. But there it is. The force buy from CLG doesn't really amount to too much there, I'm afraid. Not a single kill obtained, and no bomb planted means an absolute full eco has to come into round number 18 here. Have a look at the scoreboard while we're here. We've got some time to breathe. Kusta, 8 for 13. And Ethan as well. These are two of the big names for this CLG lineup. Ethan, like a player, hasn't really been on my radar, especially in terms of like a world-class talent. He looked very good this tournament, I have to say. Dropping off here on overpass. It is a best of 3, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and see where he can start lighting up the scoreboard in the second half. Just Glocks here. Not a single dollar invested in a huge nade to the face as well. Bolts, we're going to farm some cash here. 3 kills for him. Not too bad at all. Quite a simple round. Let's not get too excited. Just a full eco. Good for the money. And 5 players surviving. This is certainly what we call the bonus round. Almost a Jaden round, Matt.
Almost, but not
Very
quite.
close. Has to be all 5 SMGs.
Well, they've gone further away from it because Henny's got the AWP to go along with the M4 that Steel had. But
I really think we've only seen that once.
Once since we've made the stipulation.
Yeah. Well, Bolts with a ton of money there. The AWP comes out, so 1 M4, 1 AWP, 3 SMGs. Kusta has got the AWP himself. You can see very limited buy facility. Not going to bomb plant down in those first 3 rounds. Not really finding many kills either. So AK, sure, but only 3 smokes, no Molotovs. Kusta with no head armor as well. That's actually a huge deal with those UMPs coming in. Henny, he's trying to apply the pressure nice and early. They've got nothing at all on the A side of the map. This is a bit of a blunder from CLG. You can see Bolts. He's all the way towards T-steps. They are watching it, at least. They're watching the flanks, and then Finesse could actually find his first kill quite easily. There it is. So that's quite nice, actually. They're knowing that that's a possibility. Waiting for the CLG, or waiting for the Immortals side to think, oh, we've got this covered. Take that first player down. Now the reaction kills coming in. Lucas gets one in return, but still a huge advantage here for CLG.
Yeah, but Henny catching off FNS after he thought he had that kill. It's brought this back. Henny's in a bit of a tight position, though, because Kusta, yeah, watching him down. And they also had Ethan walking out from the stairwell below, so he didn't really get away from it. It was the right response. FNS figured, all right, I've killed the flank. They probably don't have anyone else pushing for information. He's far enough away that they might have even rotated over toward B, but they make up for it. The mistake. As Steel backs into the site with a mere 14 HP. It's a one-and-done position as well with that much HP. It may not even be 1 because 14 M4, he's got to hit 2 shots before even getting touched. And Ricky checks it, fires into the smoke, and down he goes.
Yeah, that's going to be round over. Good job by CLG there. Finding the initial picks at the start of the map, and we did see some great map control coming in, and there will be a pause coming in, I believe.
I think so. You don't have it on yours, but I have it on mine, so I'm wondering if mine's glitched.
Well, we'll see momentarily. It would be weird to pause after the first, unless it was technical. So yeah, Immortals thought they had such a good opportunity there. Like I was pointing out, I thought this was a bit of a blunder from CLG, nothing towards A, but they had it covered. Finesse was watching from the T steps and managed to get that first pick. Reaction comes in straight away from Immortals, pushing off short. Only had this SMG drive, so it's not the end of the world. They've still got plenty of money. It was a bit of a gamble taking 3 SMGs into the round itself. Didn't work out. So Lucas saved an AK-47. They've got tons of money across the board as well, so he can drop that weapon for Henny. Obviously, it's been a little bit more in terms of the AWP. But there it is. First gun round for CLG. Overall scoreline now is going to be 11-8. Opposite Kusta, get a much stronger buy going into this one. And I do hear some sort of pause coming in. CLG timeout. So that would suggest it's technical, considering just won the round, but you never know. You get 4 pauses in the Valve rule set, so you might as well use them. If you're a little bit lost as to what strategy you should be running, I'm not feeling 100% comfortable, yeah, just take a chance to talk to your coach and work out what's going on. 20, yeah. Double AWP set up though for Immortals. They have invested pretty much every last dollar into this round. Henny and KNG, a deadly duo, waiting to see light up the scoreboard. We haven't seen too much from Immortals, believe it or not. Yeah, they topped their group, but he only played 2 best of 1, so it's difficult to gauge too much out of them. It's when the best of 3 start, we'll see what they're made of really. And pause comes in, 11-8. Decent spawn to the AWPers, we'll see what happens there.
Both ops in play again. Decent spawn, you say, as Henny gets quite far up the map. Doesn't go for the boosted angle in terms of jumping on the bench, and then the fence, and then looking downward toward the door. Throws the smoke out like he wants to be there, and then goes below it, which is actually kind of cool, because then he might fire into it.
If you look at FNS once again, he's so passive. They're more than willing for the CT to get information that they're going to be on the B side of the map, but they're still controlling connector as well, so it's absolutely fine. It's quite nice to see this from CLG. Bit of a different approach from what we're used to seeing, but the boost once again from the CT side. This time, of course, is Immortals. Don't get much for it. Drop down. We are setting up a potential B split here. You can see the bomb outside Monster Tunnel. 2 coming towards short as well. It's going to be Ethan, joined by Cutler. In terms of the smoke, still have all 5 remaining, so full execution definitely on the cards here. It can be very difficult to hold this one off. It requires you saving your incendiaries, which they only have 1 of on the CT side. I would say it's almost certainly going to be all the smokes, Molotovs, flashbangs required, and let's see where it works out for them. Could just be able to straight up contact as well. Everyone decides to walk in. Wow.
Shot FNS. Better shot. Ethan takes down Lucas.
That's impressive from FNS.
Yep.
That range of the Galil as well.
Yep.
That's the great thing about that sort of strategy. Sure, you're not doing the full execution, but you've got that surprise factor, right? They've got no vision towards the Monster Tunnel itself, and it's a bit of a ballsy move to send your Galil in first, but I guess the idea is if he goes down, you've got your AKs to back him up, and he's more of the cannon fodder, but he hits the first shot. They had no idea that was coming in, and it's going to be a nice clean round there for CLG. 4 players surviving here. After going down 3-0, that's 2 rounds in a row now, and now it's up to Immortals to try and save their AWP in the hands of Henny and Bolt of his M4. They're looking a little bit shaky now, Immortals. Normally known for having aggressive playstyles and getting map control. They're sitting right back in the bomb site there. It was CLG that started off so passively, which is great. I actually really like that. Waiting to see what Immortals do to start the round. Give them some map control, go back to that B split, but they hadn't taken any other parts of the map, so 11-9. Cash situation means those 2 saved weapons still have another round available for them. And still with the lead, to be fair, so not going to be sweating too much just yet. Money's starting to build for CLG now. Another round with 4 players survive, so even after the reinvestment, Ricky, 6 grand, Cutler, 4.5, and Ethan, he's got just over 3k as well. So they're looking to be in a promising position as we go into round number 21. Win this round, it's going to break the money of Immortals, and that could be a tied-up game.
And he's going fast again. I'd be impressed with CLG if they were able to take this first map. And they draw this series out. Kusta's got Henny as well, so the op goes down on the CT side. With the money already low. Bolt strikes back, though, takes Kusta. Knows he's got a bit of a troublesome situation. Mistimes the smoke because they were pushing from either side of him. He had nowhere to go, and KNG, rather than backing off, tries to redress the situation and makes it much worse.
Yeah, he got fully flashed at that point, Cutler. Can't believe his luck. Finds that first kill with a player with his nade out, and then the other one's fully blind, and he gets both frags. Not too bad at all. 4-on-2 now. Steele and Lucas trying to recover this situation. They're both in a similar position, both towards the bathrooms. And Ethan, even if he goes down, he's going to get the information, nails the shot regardless. I said he was good. That's a nice shot from him. Up to Lucas now, who might actually cause some damage here. Apparently not. Ethan too fast. He seems to be coming to life now. Had a very quiet first half, but AK-47 seems to be his main discipline as he rattles off the heads there of Immortals. Has to be an eco at this point, as we stated, which should tie things up. Here's the first shot, just falling back was Henny. Horrible timing for him. And then Cutler going huge with the AK to get them on control.
There's the response, though. Here's the flash you talked about. Actually, did that flash come from himself? Did he throw that high enough that it caught
I
him?
think it was a terrorist.
Okay, because I didn't see the trail. But it might have been above where we were able to see.
Here we go. Lucas. Currently on fire. We get a little icon now where they're standing on fire as well, not just when they're blind.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's to be fair, I think we've always had that. We just haven't noticed it because it's usually pretty frantic. Yeah, when it goes beside their name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that. When you're on fire, you get that?
In this HUD, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm not saying it's new for this event, but generally...
Well, no, it's new with this overlay. With
Sure, I mean, like, it's not new for today.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not new for today. No, yes, sorry. We're struggling today, Hank.
I am.
It's fine. No one's noticed. Cutler. They'll notice him. He's making a lot of noise with that AK just to clear out angles, but they'll push out toward long stack over toward B, so this should be another round for CLG quite quickly. Oh, or is it? They're going to rotate that stack. The interesting thing now is if they rotate the stack and they say, well, we haven't seen anyone yet, so there's probably a stack of B. Let's rotate against the rotate. But they're going to go toward it, so this actually will be a bit of a situation.
Beehive.
Yeah, they're going to walk straight into the Beehive, and Bolt already knows they're going as well. This is actually a peculiar good check from Ricky. He knew something was up. They hadn't seen anyone, and they will win out the round quite convincing as well, considering how many players were around. 11-11, Henry. Make a wish.
I'm making one, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah, I'm still here.
It's going to be round number 23, and CLG do indeed pull things back after losing the pistol. 3-0 down, 4 in a row now. This is where things get very interesting. This is Immortals' pick. If CLG can steal this away, they're looking in very good stead for the rest of the series here. A team that's been impressing us the last few months, and I guess everyone disregarded them after, I guess, the first kind of iteration of this team. It was like they always made it to events, but never really did much more, never really made it to playoffs. We'll see whether this lineup with the addition of Ricky can really cause damage in the minor. Here we go. AKs, AWP. 2 for those on the Immortal side. No head armor at all. Not a huge deal against the AKs. That's going to be one-shot death regardless. And look at all this information gathered at the very start of the round. All 5 players towards long. Contact play very possible. Bolt's the only player defending that position, and he's at the APC with the M4. Spots a couple of players there, so he'll be dropping the smoke just to buy some time in the rotations. I think at this stage, CLG probably need to readdress the situation. If they could just walked up cleanly, then they would have done it, but now they have to go towards the bathrooms. Still plenty of time. Don't have to fully commit to this, but Henny might be gifted a kill.
Bang. Gifted, I would say, is the right word. Almost wrapped up with a little ribbon on it.
Yeah.
No clothes.
No clothes.
Just the ribbon.
Okay.
That's the way I like it. Aim for the girl's head. That's how you throw the smoke, Henry. I would never, ever insinuate violence.
Good.
Bolts, meanwhile, though, Mike, he's got an M4, and he's going to kill someone with it. He kills Cutler. Kusta, though, and Ethan have made up for it. Excuse me. I was going to say CLG are still finding kills despite going down men early, but KNG's made up for that, rotating back into the AWP. In fact, closes the round himself, and Immortals take the lead back, but only just. And this will be a potential reset for them.
Yeah, great round from KNG there. 3 kills in total. It looks so promising for CLG. Bit of Hail Mary play, 5 towards 1, walk up to the bomb site, see how far you can get. They got spotted by Bolt, smoked out, had to kind of funnel back towards a bathroom position. That's what the AWP was waiting for them. He starts finding kills left, right, and center, and they really struggled to actually get on the side at that point after they were detected. They knew they couldn't really fall back towards B. They had no information as to whether players would connect or even in T-spawn. To try to get back towards the bathrooms didn't really work out for them. And here we are, Immortals with the lead once again, 12-11. And he with the AWP towards mid. Super aggression here. We've got Bolt backing him up. More of that passive hold from CLG. Evanes watching the T steps and go for that connected control. That seems to be a massive part of their default. Ricky, he's looking for some boost there.
He's trying it, isn't he? Jordan Nothing Gilbert-esque, who will be watching in the wings right now. Having won their match, they don't play again until tomorrow. They play tonight. Winner plays tonight.
Winner of game tonight.
That's
yeah,
right,
after
yeah.
this one.
The lower brackets tomorrow.
Yeah, it's our second best of 3 today. We have the winner bracket game tomorrow. Sorry, this evening as well. Then we have 3 more best of 3s.
So he'll definitely be watching this game because the winner plays him tonight.
Indeed. Well, 1 minute mark. Bomb is outside B, but could always fall back. Overpass one of those maps that allows you to have a lot of rotation potential. They do dump a lot of grenades in there. 3 smokes, molotovs, flashbangs as well, waiting for the CT reaction. I think they're trying to bleed out whatever the CT's have because they still had 3 smokes here and another Molotov. 3 of those. And the CT's now looking a little bit confused as to what's going on. Headshot on either side. Up to Ethan now to find the first shot. Takes down Steel, so that's a great start. Low HP on the other player on this side as well. Lucas trying to back them up, and he might just find his first frag. Good job by him. Still a chance in this round as he gets another headshot. Make it a 3rd. Fantastic work by Immortals there. Round shut down after losing that first pick as well. It was CLG. A little bit of a sneaky play there. Smokes initially to try and bait out the CT utility at the start. It certainly worked out for them, but Lucas backing up his teammates. You can see this great position from him as well. He's watching one angle, hoping they run into his crosshair, and that certainly happened. Maybe not necessarily acquired there from Ethan, considering he got the first pick. To get that bomb down, need to push any further, but because he'll take that all day long. 13-11 now, having a look at the cash. It's still available for CLG, but they'll take a timeout here just to work out what kind of buy they want. Immortals now, after looking a little bit shaky in the mid-stage of the second half here. After losing 4 in a row, they are recovering. Double AWP setup still running true for them, and CLG will buy, from what I can see. We have some body armor for Kusa, and here comes the AK. So yeah, a full investment. AWP again. This is a round that could decide the game for CLG, Matt, because they lose this one with no bomb plant going down. They're going to be on full eco pretty much, and that'll be 40-11. They'll have to force into it. So that's why you take a pause, considering the gravity of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kusta's AWP on T side rather than Ricky. He's going to stick on the AK. Ooh, good nade. Kusta down to 64, but he is the op player, so it's perhaps better he takes the damage than anyone else who has to go straight dueling. It's a monster, 2 players outside of it. Looks, all signs point to be, but it's minute 25, so it could go anywhere. Or not. They're going to go straight through. Flash over. Steal behind the pillar, waiting to see if they'll get that far, but Lucas has actually got the better shot. He was the man boosting up KNG, who actually gets called off. Good trade from Ricky on the way through. Big, big round for CLG.
Yes, absolutely. Equal situation for now. Back in the 4th round. And it's up to Lucas once again, who was the saboteur in the previous. 1 minute remaining. They don't have to fully commit to the situation. Decent flashbang, but not good enough. Lucas finds a kill through it. That's FNS dropping, and now up to Kusta. And I was about to say Ricky as well, as we get left in a 2 versus 1 situation. Kusta, can he step up?
Oh, nearly spotted it. Nearly had the time to hit the shot at Sandbags. That's going to bring the other player out from ramp.
No bomb. Kusta detected. How did he get out of this one?
He's got to just fight. Oh, he could have shot potentially through the tin, but didn't do it, and it's Immortals on 14. As we mentioned, big round for CLG. Money now builds for Immortals. Their money's not great. They've got to make a decision.
Horrible. I think you take another pause here. So pick your poison. You force in, give everything up, and potentially lose the game here, or do you try and play for overtime? FNS has actually gone all in with the Tech 9 head armor. There's no real good answer here. It's probably more logical to go with this approach. Hope you can win the round with Tech 9's head armor. They haven't committed fully, I guess, so they've gone for a bit of a partial bite, leaving them some money to go with in the next round, but this is looking very likely to be 15-11. All towards B once again, waiting for the initial smokes or incendiaries to come in, and then presumably... Oh, okay. FNS finds the first pick. Bolts didn't really have to do it. If you're tracking the economy, you don't have to go hunting for kills by yourself. That's shocking.
Well, Tech 9s go in, and with the advantage, and Lucas is pushed far back toward jungle, it's the rotation. Steal. That really becomes the factor in this. Good shot from Lucas, and Steele's actually showed up with good style. Good shot, KNG, and heading on the other AWP. Everyone's down, they're all dead, bomb will be defused, but they get money out of that, at the very least.
Yeah, and they had about 1,200 per player as well. So bomb going down, a couple of kills picked up as well. That's not too bad for them, but there is map point in the first map of this best of 3 for Immortals. 4 rounds in a row now required from CLG to take us to overtime. So they have got enough to work with here. About 5k per player, the AWP can come out once again. Kusa had about 6k, did not get the armor in the previous round. So a nice full buy. Enough to work with CLG, but the pressure is on. Not a single mistake can be made at this point. I thought Bolt's gifted in that previous round. He's run through the connector. Like I said, if you're tracking the money, you know they could be very low. There's no real reason to be by yourself. It's hold the crossfires, hold the bomb sites. Got a bit carried away, but no harm, no foul. Round number 27.
Enrique goes, oh, throws a nade all wrong. And then gets flashed, fires a shot. Yep, I was here. Now I'm gone. Lucas has pushed his way out into construction, though, so good control for him. But Ricky, oh, is he going to get caught by this? No, I don't think they're looking that direction. No, they're not. So Lucas is still back by the boards. He'll smoke it off instead. Trying everything. Oh, the nades. Ricky finally gets it. Down goes Lucas. Great start for CLG.
We've seen that walk back and work a few times this tournament. This time it's Ricky to pick up, takes down Lucas. Not too bad at all. It's going to be 1 minute remaining now, and it looks like they will be hedging their bets towards the B side of the map here. Still with the smokes and flashbangs available. It's Lucas as well. He's been so strong on this side of the map. Ricky with his second frag, but could be shut down. Bolt and Steel doing work at the monster tunnel, and this could be such a disappointing way to finish out. After finding the first 2 picks, they fully commit to the B side, and it looks like Steel will be the man to do the job here. They thought it would be clear. You find those 2 frags, you just don't expect that to be a player on the right-hand side. Kusta, 3 players to find. He'll get this first one. Does he have what it takes to finish the round off? Apparently not. Henny, he'll finish things there. 16-11 for Immortals, Matt. It was a very interesting map there. It looked like CLG were going to pull it back. You can see that kind of spell they had with 4 rounds. I thought that would be enough, but apparently not. Immortals do pick up their own map pick.
Yeah, and I thought it would be Immortals that would win this, and I thought it would be relatively close. CLG impressed me yesterday, but for a second there, I thought they were actually going to take that map away.
Yeah.
They had, a decent comeback in the first half, and then they started to steal the momentum away quite convincingly in the second.
Shout out to Cutler as well.
Yes.
Like we've been saying throughout this tournament, not a player you kind of find at the top of the scoreboard for his teammates, usually known as an in-game leader back in the day. He's now lost that role, it's given to FNS, and he seems to be fragging to his full potential. Like you said, FNS seems to know how to use Cutler correctly to get the most out of him. So that's cool to see that, and I'm sure this best of 3 is just warming up.
It is. That said, this truck's a little low on gas, Henry, so we're going to pull off on the freeway and head into the truck stop and join the gentleman inside.
I wish we had hats now, actually. Maybe the next segment we'll find some hats. A very back and forth game there, as we saw in the rounds. Sorry, Anders, you want to say something about hats?
No, about trucks.
Oh, trucks. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I once took a bus from Denmark to London when I was like 15.
Sure.
With a friend of mine, and we actually stopped at a sort of a truck stop in Germany to get food. It was like,
There's your first problem.
That was a big problem because the only restrooms in that place were where there was like a shower area where all the truckers would go and shower. And I've been traumatized ever since. That was not a pleasant place to be.
Because it was dirty, or you saw some
naked truckers. That's what I'm saying. You had to go inside the whole show.
Okay.
And so we just talked about truckers' hats, and it kind of brought back all these emotions.
Yeah.
And these.
Well, another thing. So two more points. For one thing, why does Matt have his hair down his eyes? What's happening?
He's a memer. Matt is the #1 memer in Counter-Strike right now.
Okay.
No one can touch him, not even Config.
So that was the one thing that I got out of it. And the other thing was that Moses was wrong. Just plain wrong.
We really like rubbing it in on Jason, and his feelings get hurt quite easily. Like, I'm more than happy to roll with the punches, but Jason, he gets upset. And you know who else would be upset? CLG. That's a segue and a half right there, because they grabbed that pistol round to start off the game, but once more, like yesterday, got force ball back, and that's not a great way to start off a game. If they could have converted and got the 3-0 early, that first half could have been a 9-6, maybe even a 10-5 in their favor. Lucky some heroics from Ricky with the AWP in the early stages. They were able to claw back a few rounds, give them a bit of hope, a bit of a glimmer, a chance. And then once they got on top of that Immortals economy, forced them to take a couple of ecos, a couple of saves, they would bring the half back. But Immortals strong in the end there, definitely stepping up with that double AWP on the CT side. Henny and KNG having some impact. Bolt, though, put up 25 frags, so it's good effort by him.
Yeah, it's really disappointing if you're CLG. I feel like that you got off to such a weird beginning in the first half because it makes the comeback scenario that they were trying to build so much more tricky when you're trying to build that throughout the rest of the game. And I don't know. I'm probably, because they're professional players, they don't think this way.
Yep.
But I think there is a temptation sometimes to sort of feel like, oh man, if only we could have pulled ourselves together in some of those early rounds, it would have been a really good shot at it. So. Yeah, I hope they won't take it too much to heart. Luckily, this wasn't their map pick.
Yeah.
This is Immortals map pick. So Train is going to be next. That's CLG and all of that. So, hopefully they can just, get out of here with their heads held high and feel like it's going to be all right.
They came to play as well, right? This is what I was saying, that if it was going to go to 3, it's going to be a slugfest. And that was a relatively close match, right? Like, I would agree with the casters there when they were saying it felt like CLG had were in the right position to win the game. And I definitely think they would have felt the same. Not fantastic that they couldn't convert crucial rounds. It just shows, people always talk about the North American side not being able to close out games.
Or stop them.
America's mind. Yeah, well, they got the pistol, right? And the same thing happened yesterday. They got lots of pistols. You have to harp on that. It's very important to convert those rounds. It's just horrible feeling, when they're hard rounds to win nowadays. They're probably one of the hardest rounds to win in the whole game. So, I'm not ragging on them by any means. It's just, if it happens that regularly, then something needs to be addressed. We want to talk about what they actually did was they had Cutler from the start of the round jumping in the A bomb side, right? Just to peek between long and the toilet section of the map. And they played 4 players B in case of a B execute or in case of a B rush. And they took sewer control. Immortals didn't come and didn't rotate back towards the A bomb site very proficiently because they played passively. And once the Tech-9s get up close, that's what they want. They're able to get control, get a rifle, bolts with some good kills in that round, and just the round turned over. Something to note there, we saw that replay of Lucas. He's a pretty good bomb site anchor, old Lucas. I don't mind him.
Yeah? No, I think he did really well. And obviously, I think Henny was playing down there as well for some of the time. So yeah, I think they had a good run at it.
Good duo, yeah. These guys seem to be relatively strong in those kind of positions. Something to build on there, maybe that CLG can look into doing in the future is they did it yesterday whenever they played Overpass. They've already played Overpass against Pain. right? And they were more aggressive on their anti-ecos then. Maybe it's something from practice. Maybe that's an adjustment they made and it just backfired, right? So you shouldn't read too much into it that their anti-ecos are normally bad. It's just maybe they made an adjustment that didn't work for that matchup. And going into train, that means they've obviously done their homework. That's what we saw come out with that bit of paper. There's going to be notes on there. There's going to be a way that they approach the game. They do struggle against Immortals normally. It's not a game, not a matchup that you normally see CLG winning. Immortals have come out more often than not on top of these guys. Same as, they come out on top of Cloud9 as well, and Renegades is one that they beat regularly too.
Before we do move on to train, we have the Mummy MVP for Overpass, and we already mentioned him. It was Bolts. He had a fantastic game for Immortals there. Impact rating of 4.61, 25 kills, 14 deaths. Any standout stats there? No trade kills.
It's always the retake / post-plant kills for me that are the big ones, right? Because the way that stat works, if you're in a situation where you have less players than the other team in that situation, every frag counts for more, as it should, because to retake in those situations is much more difficult. So if you're able to pull through a retake or close out a post-plant for your team, that's a big play in my mind. That's sealing the deal.
Bolts was impressive for you as well, Anders.
Yeah, I think he always is. I mean, I think he's just shown himself over a really long time to be a really stable player. So that doesn't really surprise me. Yeah, I would say when you see someone with 25 kills, it's worth noting, because we talk about this every once in a while, how you could have got many of those kills after the round was basically over, sort of exit frags or something like that, and it might not have been worth that much. So I think a lot of the frags that he got in this game actually were pretty high impact kills.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Something to note, going into train, is how much these guys want to run the double AWP on their T side. Immortals especially is the one that I'm talking about here. They were loving it on KNG as well as Henny, and it's great if your riflers can open space so then you can post up. But if they can't do that, the AWPers seem to struggle, right? It's not easy. And then Henry said it limits what you can do. Limits your set executes, limits your rushes, means you have to rely a lot on going for picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel going into train then, Anders?
I don't think I would go for the double up setup, but I mean, it's not impossible. You could do it if you want it, but I think it's less effective. What I'm interested in is if they're going to try, because I think people fail to do this a lot. If you have some strong opers like Henny or Kenji, I would try and have them open up the bomb side, especially in A main if you're on the T side. So effective, especially if CLG will allow it. I mean, this is a big question if they will or not. But some teams are too passive around the main area and they hold really far back onto the bomb side. And if that's the case, then I would try and use the AWP to pick up that bomb, sort of open up the bomb side and allow some of your teammates to get out. But sometimes it becomes the other way around, where the sort of the guy with the AWP is just there in the background and they don't get to do enough of the work, I feel like. So yeah, that's at least one of the things I'll be looking for on this map.
A duel that could be really interesting with two AWPs is, I know that both of these teams from time to time like to have a player pick up low ramp with the AWP on the CT side. If you know a guy likes to do that and you're a T-side AWPer, you have the movement advantage coming into that. The reason that the rifles always struggle in that duel is because they're picking that angle relatively slowly. If you have an AWP, you can just jump straight down and swing wide and take that fight. And at that point, for me, it even favors the team marginally. Probably 65, 45 and that kind of... No, I can't maths. 65, 35.
That's okay. We'll let you off.
That's
cool.
fine.
It happens to the best of us.
110% chance.
Yeah.
That's how I do everything.
Like you give everything 110%.
Yeah. That's how I live my life.
Should we do some social media questions?
I love them.
Would you be up for one of them?
Can we have some good ones?
Yeah, you guys at home have been giving us questions on Reddit, so keep them coming. Thank you for sending them in. The first one here, thoughts on the future of the Swedish CSGO scene. So going across the pond from the Americas, from Rekrab, already taken.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
That means that the name that he wanted was already taken.
yeah.
But
Is his name Rekrab?
Yeah, probably. Matt and I already touched on this a little bit yesterday, Anders, when we were doing some questions, and we were talking about, the question was about NIP. And we said that we think that the stubbornness from NIP not to really evolve and bring in newer players when they were struggling has stunted the Swedish scene as a whole. And it means that it's taken a longer time. If you compare that to your region, the Danes, of how quickly and how much talent you guys have built up, and the fact you have, I would say, obviously Astralis. North is quite good. Heroic is also on the cusp of that. And then you have a lot of feeder teams like Trick coming up behind them to grab players from. That hasn't happened in Sweden. And Sweden used to be known for that, right? Sweden always had a lot of talent. It seems like they've tapered off, maybe because NIP wasn't letting anyone in the door.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I know this question was about Sweden, but I'm from Denmark, so I'll slide it over into
Expand it to the Nordics, the whole Nordics.
Danish thing. No, but something that's really weird and slightly unique about Denmark, I feel like, is I mean, geographically, it's a tiny place, you know. So to travel anywhere in Denmark take no time at all. You know, like 3 hours and you're on the other side of the country, more or less. So that means all these small lands that have been there for, you know, since the late 90s have, you know, just been around. They're still going to some extent, and even if not, people just make sort of like local lands, you know, a little town that just has like something, and people can go there from almost all over town. You just put your PC in a bus or a train, and you get there. So there's a lot of that stuff going on, and now we even have like 20 different high schools or something. Well, high school or boarding schools basically that all, you know, teach esports in some way, or you know, where you can even go and like, you know, play Counter-Strike in a team or something like that. And that's what you're doing at least part of the year. And there's all this like massive grassroots stuff that's going on. And I think it's sort of a combination of like the history and then all the grassroots stuff, and then the, you know, geography of it, the fact that it's such a tiny place. Whereas in Sweden, quite a bit more difficult to get from, you know, sort of one end of Sweden to the other. It takes quite a bit of time, and I think maybe sort of that's part of it. There could be the NIP thing, on the other side of it, that they hogged the scene for so long in the beginning and all of that. That could be another explanation.
Yep.
But I can't see that lasting forever.
No. We're seeing a new wave coming now, right? We're seeing the Epsilons of the world come through.
Yes.
Draken, for me, he's looked relatively impressive.
Disco Doppler.
Yeah, guys like that, right? They're definitely coming up the ranks. I just think we need to kind of refresh the way that they're being distributed right now. I think that the NIP guys, in my opinion, I think their little project has come to the end. It's time to... I gave 2 options. I said if the organization is more than happy just to have them as like a dream team marketing thing where they can just still make money based off the players, or let's get Forrest get right. You can keep Draken as well. Send Exist to another team to bring up a younger team of players. I think he can do it. He's done it before. It would be good for him because he's a very good fragger, and I think he could thrive in a new environment. Same with Freiburg. You could send him somewhere else as a bomb site anchor. That would be cool. And then you let new players in. Maybe bring Rez. You know, I've read lots of good things about that guy. There's lots of different opportunities for Sweden to let newer players through and maybe get them to the top level again.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
The high school thing you brought up with about Denmark is fascinating. I learned a lot about this in Copenhagen when I was last there at Copenhagen Games.
Yeah.
And I learned all about how, you just, in high school, just general high schools, you're getting taught like modules and lessons on esports. And I think hopefully other countries, other curriculums can take inspiration from that.
Could I be a lecturer there? I don't speak Danish, but
probably could, yeah. They wouldn't care. They all speak English anyway.
How much would they pay me? It's all about money for me.
Probably a significant amount if you could put together a good coursework for it. Listen, this is a real thing. I went and did a broadcast for a Danish television channel. That's just it's like a, you know, it's not the biggest channel in Denmark, and it's like just one region of Denmark. So it's a really sort of small channel, you know. And that was like a boarding school tournament that had, I don't know how many schools, like 24 different schools, and you know, all playing, and then, you know, they were doing the finals and everything. And that was amazing. I mean, they were all into it. So I think in terms of the future of Danish Counter-Strike, like if this keeps going another 4 or 5 years, then the talent pool for Danish Counter-Strike is going to be really, really scary, I reckon.
Yeah. And I think what's so inspirational about it as well is you don't necessarily need to be in the same place. You don't need to be in a classroom to learn these things. It could be the sort of the birth of sort of courses, online courses for esports as well, I think, if you're already writing curriculums for things like that. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, not to make this too boring or anything, but I actually think that's a trend that will shape society a lot in the future anyway. Because I think this is happening to universities too now, a lot. I actually keep a lot of eye on this. Let's not go down that road because people get bored to death if I start talking about this. But it's something that I care about. What is strange is that, you know, why are some of the other countries left out? I mean, I actually know, because I try and keep a little bit of an eye on it, that there's a sort of an emerging, growing Polish talent pool. We saw some of them in Stockholm. We were playing, I think, the ASSRG tournament
join
there.
the Republic.
Yeah, join the Republic. Oh, yeah, you were there. I'd halfway forgotten about that. You weren't doing much captain, I remember, but...
No, I was a pretty bad captain. They pulled me out of holidays in the middle of Canada and said, hey, come over here and do this.
That was cruel.
Yeah.
But we saw some of it there. Stomp, if you remember.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
And I've had people tweet at me saying he's not even like the most up-and-coming sort of player, but he looked pretty solid. So where is the up-and-coming? I mean, we've all given up on the British. That's the ship sailed a long time ago. But what's happened?
I'm still determined to say that, like,
you think it can happen?
yeah, I get it.
It
I
can't
get why
happen, James.
everyone would have given up. But yeah, I think that at some point we're going to see some younger players who we don't even know who they are yet, who have been playing CSGO for the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Where are the Germans? That's what I don't understand. Germany has a massive history with Counter-Strike going like really far back. There's lots of stuff to be inspired by if you're a German player. If you just wanted to look up the history books on it, then there's lots of strong lineups, lots of stuff that they could look at and say, you know what, we were here before. Even, you know, probably some veteran players that you could, you know, pull out and sort of try and get back in and at least get you started, you know, on how to play the game at a professional level. Like, I don't understand what's happening.
Maybe they can't get a good team because you can't use credit cards in Germany.
Yeah, that always bugs me.
It annoyed me. I was there for 4 months, having to get cash out from an ATM every day.
Do you think it could be? Do you think it could be a case of up and coming younger players not necessarily knowing how to find a team and how to find those people?
It's about the direction, right? So when you just start playing Counter-Strike, what we're kind of being filtered into right now is matchmaking. And then once you upgrade from matchmaking, you go to Face It. And once you go to Face It, then you're like, well, what next? And hopefully you've made friends along the way.
Okay.
If you've made friends along the way, you go join different ladders and leagues, and then you can go from there. But the problem is, to play top-tier Counter-Strike, you need mentor figures within your community.
Yes.
And right now, there's a lot of people to look up to in the Danish scene. A lot of people to look up to in, what's another good scene? The Virtus Pro. They're like a great example of a team, you know, who've made, you know,
French
a lot.
scene,
French scene as well. But with Germany, so we're getting back to that now that Big, they're kind of showing up now as the best German team, right?
Yeah, and they have. You have sure brought that up because they do have someone like Goppy.
Yeah,
and I still think Goppy is one of them. I say this every time I get a chance. I still think Goppy is one of the most intelligent like leaders there is out there. Every time I watch like anything, I wish I could watch more of it. But every time I watch anything that they do, I'm awestruck. I think this is. Why has no one thought about this? Like, why are they so good at this?
He's got some little nifty strategies and thought processes to the game that, you know, a lot of people don't have. And that's the thing, you need someone who's constantly innovating. And Godby has been playing this game now for a very long time. So and his mind's still very sharp.
Just to build on this point that Chad is making. Briefly. Just briefly. All right, just to say, people are under this misconception, I feel like, that if you're if you hit the global elites of matchmaking, or if you become like, you know, like high-level Face It or something, that you're like a few steps away from being a professional player. And I think what Chad's trying to say is that there's a pretty big chasm between those things. You know?
Long way to go.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean, that's interesting, but it's. But you're right. You need someone to help guide you.
Yeah, interesting is definitely the word. This is a fascinating thing. Like, this is something I'm very, very interested probably to talk more about afterwards, and maybe we can talk more when we have more Reddit questions. But we are ready to go. We're going to hand over to Henry and Sadikist.
It's quite tame in that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
not
not
quite
bad.
serious.